Hi, everybody. My name's Jazz, and welcome to Families Against Bullying. This is 50 Shades of Purple Against Bullying Community Awareness event. This is our second annual event, and thank you for coming. I appreciate that you're here. You will have, over the next 4 hours, one tremendous experience along with all the families that are here, as well as some of our board of directors. I want you to engage one another, have a great time, and get to know us because we certainly want to get to know you. We do all of this because we are absolutely the ultimate, as far as I'm concerned, activists against bullying and advocates for bullying prevention. And throughout the course of the afternoon, you're going to see and hear some pretty spectacular stories about people who have overcome bullying, as well as people who are still struggling with getting through some of the challenges. But today is going to be about fun. Okay, we're going to have a good time. We're going to have great food, entertainment, but don't tune your ears off and don't tune your eyes out yet because right behind me, you're going to hear from our executive director and also a couple individuals that we interviewed so that you know you're not alone.
Hi, I'm Marcia Bryant, the Executive Director for 50 Shades of Purple Against Bullying, and I'm so glad that you joined me. I just want to spend a few minutes telling you a little bit about why I do what I do. This has been a labor of love for the last 2 years that was just a brainchild of our founder, Jazz Sadler Gray, who had a conversation with me and just really shared her vision and her passion for helping children and people who have been bullied, coming from an experience her son had. And I tell you, after a couple of conversations with Jazz and our first initial meetings, I was on board and had drank the Kool-Aid 100%. There is nothing more important to me than doing away with bullying. Everyone deserves an opportunity to thrive and grow in a safe environment. No one should feel fearful of going to school or being at home or in the workplace. 50 Shades does that. We empower people, we coordinate with other organizations that have the same vision that we do. And, we're 2 years young, we're growing by leaps and bounds, and it has been an honor to be at the helm leading the other passionate activists that are involved with 50 Shades of Purple. So glad you're joining us today at our FAB event, Families Against Bullying, because today is a fabulous day to be involved with 50 Shades of Purple. Bye now.
Hi, Kathy. Thanks for joining me today, and thank you for supporting FSP Against Bullying. One of the reasons I spoke to you about bullying and how you address bullying with your child is that I know you have a young son, and he's very active in sports, and you and your husband are very involved in his life. I see you all the time, and I've always admired your parenting. So tell me, when you're talking with your son, first let's share his name, and when you're talking with your son, how do you have that conversation or that tough conversation about bullying, and has he ever experienced that in school?
Well, his name is Troy. He's 11, and mixed race. So I think I've dealt with some issues with him that maybe I felt a little bit unprepared to deal with, because I can just think of a specific example of him playing with some other boys. Well, they were playing hockey, like street hockey. And when he asked if he could join them, they said to him, "Don't you know that you're black and you can't play hockey?" And so when he came home to me with that, and this was the first time something like this had happened with him, it was difficult, because his response to them was, "I'm not black." He was young, and he said, "I'm not black. I'm brown." So it kind of went over his head a little bit, but I realized right then that we have to start early and talk to him about how you may be perceived, how people will, how people may treat you, and you know, how you need to just stand up for yourself, and how it's important to treat other children, and how it's important to think about how you feel when that happens to you, and try to treat other kids the way you would want to be treated.
Now, I know I've met your husband. He's a fantastic guy, and I'm sure he provides all the support imaginable to your young son. Do you believe that your son would be comfortable with having that kind of conversation with his father as well as you?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we both talk to him, and for us, it's really important to keep those lines of communication open, and to make sure that he knows that he can tell us anything that's going on with him, and that as long as he's honest with us, we're not going to be angry with him, and we're just going to support him and help him through whatever he's experiencing.
Well, thank you, Kathy. I appreciate your support, and thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Hi, Natifa. Thank you so much for allowing me to talk to you today about bullying and how you as a parent talk to your children about it. So tell me a little bit about your children, their ages, and how you have experienced discussing bullying with them.
Okay, so I have 3 daughters. They're 9 years old, and this week there was an instance in their school where there was a child who was being teased about having lice, and the whole class was moved to caution and further. And my concern was that my daughters were participating in this. They told me that it was because the whole class was making the teacher upset by this, so they were moved. But my response was, you shouldn't do this. Like, this isn't what is supposed to be done. If you were that little girl with lice, would you appreciate the whole class laughing at you? And they assured me that they were not the ones doing it, but it's always important to take that into consideration. Would you want that to happen to you? How would it make you feel if that happened to you? And that's how I want them to carry out their life, and that's important in bullying, because you should always consider how your actions make someone else feel.
Well, thank you, Natisha. I appreciate your time. And thank you for supporting FSP Against Bullying.
You're welcome.
What's good? This is Amir.
I'm Sing Sing.
I'm Mr. Jones.
I'm KC.
And I'm Big Mike.
There's nothing tough about letting somebody hurt you.
Don't be afraid to get out of the situation.
That starts by telling someone.
As hard as it might be to tell somebody you're being bullied, never ever suffer in silence. We're proud to stand alongside 50 Shades of Purple against bullying.
In their campaign to increase awareness and prevent bullying. Everyone deserves to feel safe. Peace.
Made a wrong turn once or twice, dug my way out, blood and fire, bad decisions, that's alright. Welcome to my silly life. Mistreated, misplaced, misunderstood, knowing so good it didn't slow me down. Mistaken, always second guessing, underestimating. Look, I'm still around. Pretty, pretty please, don't you ever feel like you're less than perfect. Pretty, pretty please, if you ever feel like you're nothing, you are worth. You're perfect to me. You're so mean when you talk about yourself. You were wrong. Change the voices in your head. Make them like you instead. So complicated. Look how we all make it. Filled with so much hatred. Such a dying game. Said it's enough. I've done all I can think of. Chase them
so I swallowed the fear. The only thing I should be drinking is a nice cold beer. So cool in line, and we try, but we try too hard, and it's a waste of my time. Done looking for the critics, cause they're everywhere. They don't like my jeans, they don't feel my hair. Exchange ourselves, we do it all the time. Why do we do that? Why do I do that? Why do you do that?